Everything I spit rare, we sound in that gray area podcast. They talk about hip hop all the way in the UK, so they gon' get props. Ooh, let me catch it once again. Every time I'm spitting, I'll be making.
I feel like I say this every week now, but good luck with that edit. They're getting a lot more lazy.
Yeah. Right. So this is our 5th GOAT talk. So for those who have never seen an episode of this series before, basically GOAT, greatest of all time, we rank our top 10 within a specific category. So for today, obviously, it's the greatest features, but we've done greatest producers, we've done greatest UK rap albums, we did greatest fire in the booths, so go back and check those out. This is our list. It's not a definitive thing. I'm sure everyone else will have their own opinions. If you want to share your own picks and whatnot, get on the Discord.
Jeez! Straight in with the Discord. Sorry.
Straight in with the Discord.
You have to be straight.
A copy of The Lifestyles of the Heath by Alexander T. If you check out the Discord.
Wait. I had to go back and listen to that. I actually need to go back and listen to The Lifestyles of the Heath. I'm gonna lie. There's some parts. Sean was dissecting it proper. We were talking about it last time I see him. I was like,
it's deep. The freestyles are deep though. He touches on things, isn't it?
Some of them are hard.
Reminiscing. So the way in which we get to a final 10 is we do a draft system on our WhatsApp group. So the way it works is we take it in turns to pick one, in this instance, feature each. We get 3 picks each, so we end up with a 12. And then usually we ditch 2 on the WhatsApp group before we get to the call and talk about them a little bit. But this time around, because this is such a contentious topic, we're going to do it here on the call. So should we just quickly, before we get into dropping our 2, should we just quickly go around and say our 3 picks each? Sam, do you want to kick us off with what you picked?
Yeah, I picked Andre 3000 on Pink Matter by Frank Ocean, Kanye West on, I think it's Jay-Z's song, Run This Town, and I picked Forgot About Dre by Dre featuring Eminem, which is, I don't know, I feel like my 3 picks aren't that strong. They're quite, apart from Forgot About Dre, but for me, there's songs that I like, innit? Like, that's the best way I can describe it. I wasn't really thinking about, oh, these are the best features ever. These are my favourite features, you know?
Fair enough. Theo?
So my picks were AZ on Nas's Life's a Bitch. I had Eminem on Renegade, which is Jay-Z's song. And final one, did I pick? Why can't I remember my pick? Did I pick Andre 3000 Life for the Party? Was that me?
You did.
It was
didn't
me
even
from Kanye.
remember.
I just had to make sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kieran?
Yeah, I picked Lil Wayne on Tyler the Creator's Hot Wind Blows. Picked Biggie on Puff Daddy's Victory. And I picked Kendrick on Lil Wayne's Mona Lisa.
Before we let Sean speak his, can I just say, I don't really think that Diddy song is a Diddy song, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't class Diddy.
I was just today thinking that as well, but let's just get into that later, innit?
Okay.
I hear what you're saying.
I just wanted to get that in there up front, because I don't believe Diddy is an actual rapper. Like,
there is a little fact about that song, but we can deal with that when we get to that one. So my picks were, I have Nas on Verbal Intercourse by Raekwon, sorry. I have Gets on In the Fire by Dave, and I have Nicki Minaj on Monster by Kanye West. That's my 3. So because we had no idea where to start, I thought I would just suggest the 2 that I thought could go. So maybe we can start with those and then make a decision, because I'm sure everyone else will have different opinions. So out of the 12, the 2 songs that I thought wouldn't make the top 10 are Lil Wayne on Hot Wind Blows, and as much as it pains me to say it, because it's one of my personal favourites, is Andre 3000 on Pink Matter. That's the 2 that I thought.
See, that's the reason why I agree with the 2 that you're taking out, right? Because even though I love that verse, it's not Andre's best feature. I think Life of the Party is his. If Life of the Party didn't exist, then Pink Matter would be in there, because you'd be stupid to not have an Andre 3000 verse in there, and it'd probably be something different, to be honest. But yeah, I agree with what you've done, And to be honest, I don't really think Hot Wind Blows is that good. I just think it's just like Lil Wayne's gassing us. He's had so many features recently. I think maybe we just need to do like a Lil Wayne appreciation thing.
Just to piggyback on the Pink Metal one, and then I can see Kieran's like eager to say something, so I'll let him say it in a minute. But just to kind of go on what you said about Pink Matter, as beautiful as that verse is, as witty as it is, as much as it works in that song, for me, a big part of most of the features on here is that the feature shines, and I feel like Andre complimented Frank on that, but Frank really shined on that song. And like you, I think I would even go further and say that I reckon there's a few features that you could put ahead of Pink Matter. You know, I know it's a
16. 16's one of them.
16, yeah. There's solo. I don't prefer it personally, but solo, like the solo reprise on Blonde is there's nothing like it really. And then I know it's Outkast, but International Players Anthem. That that Andre's probably the greatest feature artist ever.
Well, I think we already had this conversation in one of our GOAT talks. I'm not sure if it's out or if we just say it all the time, but Andre 3000 is definitely one of the best rappers ever. So it's like realistically, 100%. He's gonna make an appearance in the greatest features because he's always featuring stuff. But go on, Kieran.
No, I know why Sam picked Pink Matter as well, because just like Sean, it's one of my favorite verses he's ever done, and like we know how we all feel about Channel Orange as well. So
10 years ago, it came out nearly.
That was one of the best moments on the album too. So I understand it all. Like personally, it makes sense to talk about it at least, and it is amazing how he sings on it too. But I would take that one out. My other one, I'll talk about in a sec. But should I address this Lil Wayne situation?
I don't know what the situation is.
Wait, hang on, just quickly, Theo, your thoughts on Pink Matter? Do you want it in the 10 or are you? Do you agree?
Oh no, I agree. I mean, as lovely as that verse is, if I'm looking at all the features on here, that's the one that I would pick out purely because I know there's another 3 Stacks feature that I'm very happy with, and that's 100% strong. Otherwise, like Sam said, if there wasn't any other 3 Stacks feature on there, then it definitely stays in there. But we got one, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you realize you're saying it like we haven't said what the feature is yet. We've already said our 3, innit? I felt like you were trying to tease it, like, oh, we got a 3 stack coming up though.
No. We already know it's not there. That's what I meant.
Oh, that's funny. All right, let's get into Hot Wind Blows and Kieran, and maybe like once you've said your piece, say what you would take out.
Yeah. So the thing is, I listened to all of our picks queued earlier as well, in the order that Sean put them in. So it was quite interesting because I got to get like, actually, this needs shuffling and stuff. It was obviously personal, some of it, but I just felt like with Lil Wayne, like we all know he's been aging like fine wine, and I think the features he's been doing, especially in 2021, they're just like he's always been a feature king as well. I think he's always like been like, oh yeah, he's featuring on everything, and everything just it's a banger. Like there's like Make It Rain, but then there's all these other verses like Lloyd U, Mad by Solange, Deeper by Big Sean, M's by A$AP Rocky. I think all of them are incredible verses. I was thinking like, should I go with these? But man, with Hot Wind Blows, I'm such a big Lil Wayne fan, so I get absolutely mind blown because I can tell he wrote this one. He didn't freestyle this for sure, because when you read the lyrics, like the punchlines are way too complex for someone to just come off on the spot. Like, and it's like he's not even recording like bar for bar. It's like the whole thing is one take, I think. Anyway,
but that's the thing. Maybe he did freestyle it.
Maybe he did freestyle. If he did, that's even more crazy, isn't it?
But that's why
he did. What the hell?
That's the thing for me. I know it sounds harsh to say, but for a feature, like I feel like you have to take into account the theme of the song, and like I don't feel like Hot Wind Blows really has like a theme to it.
Oh no, it does. So the thing is with this verse, especially when he goes into the double time bit, it's actually quite hard to follow what's happening because he's rapping so fast and almost gibberish like, but like Eminem-ish a little bit as well. But I was reading the lyrics and they're crazy. But when he speeds up, it's like he starts like repeating words like how Busta Rhymes does as well in some of his best verses. But I think it's the way he goes from that slow, like smooth, vibey, like elevator music kind of verse, all the way up into like some sort of hype bit, and it gets so crazy. It's like Wolfgang, Young Muller the Goat, kind of. It gets crazy. And then he ends with this little singing.
It becomes
like,
frantic. The end of that verse is iconic. Though,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's intentionally frantic. Do you know what I mean? Like, it starts so calm, like you're in an elevator. Like it's the calmest music you can hear. Then it's that progression. It doesn't. I know there's a moment where it switches into double time, but I do feel like it always progresses in a way that like makes sense. It's not like slow verse, fast verse. Do you know what I mean?
So what would you take out then?
Okay.
What would you take out?
Yeah. I take out Gets in the Fire.
What? No,
I'm being real.
That's
Real.
wild.
What the hell?
That's wild. That's wild.
No, I'm being real.
You can't take that out.
Can I jump in?
Please.
Yeah.
And Kieran, I'm not trying to do you dirty. This is strictly for the purpose of just like getting to a decision. But when we did our end of year awards thing, you had Wayne as your 5th choice feature and Gets as your 3rd. What's changed?
Right.
I think it was because I think we pulled out data. Like, you pulled out the spreadsheets. So I think for me it was reading that verse recently, the Lil Wayne one, and I started because I wanted to deep his punchlines more, and I think I personally prefer the Lil Wayne one more as well. And I think with the Gets one, as time's going on, I'm getting more used to it and less impressed by it because he's penning a really good verse, but I've heard him pen like that in like a lot of his other songs, not all of his, but a lot of his other songs. Like the first 4 songs of Conflict of Interest, I kind of like that vibe anyway. Whereas what Lil Wayne does on Hot Wind Blows, he's never done that before. And I don't think he's going to do that again. Like that, I think that's crazy. The vibe he entered of that kind of like elevator music, and then the double time thing as well. I just find it more exciting too.
Lil Wayne is a good feature artist. I ain't gonna lie, okay? But I don't know if Hot Wind Blows is his best feature ever, and that's why I feel like that's why it could jump out the list. But for you to say Gets in the Fire comes out the list, so sorry. My
other Lil Wayne pick, actually, the one I was gonna go for was Hollywood Divorce, the Outkast track as well.
That's a good pick.
I thought this was more exciting.
Yeah, I think the Wayne verse is. I mean, I had it same place as you. I had it 5th last year, I think. So I think it was one of the best features last year. It will probably go down as one of the best features of the decade. This is purely a feeling thing. It just doesn't feel iconic like most of the others we've got listed here. It doesn't feel like it's ready for that. I'm not ready to call it a top 10 verse.
You don't want to do the instant classic argument where people say instant classic type.
I hear that because it's so soon, isn't it? And it is one of those weird songs as well. It's not. It's
maybe
not like,
it's like yeah. Sorry. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it hasn't really like pervaded the culture as much as these other songs as well because of the feature. I get that.
Yeah, I think on a sort of like.
But this is the thing, like a lot of people say We Take It Over is Lil Wayne's best verse, especially because of the moment it caused. But if you look at both verses side by side, this verse is obviously better. The way he's penned it, the skill of it is crazy. He's a different rapper in this song.
I won't say too much because I feel like we'll get to it later on. But the thing that I said it when we were discussing what was the best feature last year, the thing for me with Gets was the fact that he came slap bang in the middle of 5 strong verses and stood out the way he did. And it was a real moment for the UK, for him, I think, as well. I know what you're saying. I mean, Gets is one of the greatest to do it over here, at least, I think, period. But this just felt like next levels. And I think he's just doing more in that verse. I know what you mean with Wayne. Maybe it's a bit more, I think maybe Gets is a bit more easy to digest, maybe a bit more palatable, maybe.
Wayne's is intricate. It's an extremely intricate verse, isn't it? It's one of the most like busy verses out of all of the ones in this list as well.
But without going too much into it, I just thought that Gets was just, like I said, doing a bit more, and it was just a bit more.
I understand clarity is important in it. Like you do understand more in Gets' verse as well. To be fair,
we're in the scary.
But that's not to take away from Wayne or say it's worse. It's just maybe that's why but personal opinion and bias always comes into it. That's probably just why Gets still resonates with me. Like I'm the opposite. When I listen to it in the fire, I get well emotional, man. Not well emotional. I get like goosebumps and it makes me feel something. Maybe after the Brits, the performance as well.
So how's Sam
that
and Theo
song-
feeling?
Wait,
Do they think
1
it should
minute
get
zone.
cut?
We need to jump out,
Oh, yeah,
man.
yeah, reload,
I was
reload, reload.
tense, bro. I was so tense. I was like,
Hop in, hop out.
it's just me. It's just me. It's just me. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. But how do I feel about Hot Wind Blows? I don't know. If I'm honest, like really, really honest about Hot Wind Blows, it's an amazing verse. Yeah, I love it. It's interesting, entertaining, it's fun, but like just to compare it to what Kieran wants to take out, I don't know. It doesn't hit the same beats. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's the thing with a feature. It's got to hit some beats. It's got to go like and really stand out. And I think the problem is with Tyler the Creator's music in general is it always sounds great as a standalone song and as part of the album, but he doesn't really do like what Kanye would do with a feature or what other artists that people do with a feature. He actually kind of like reins people in, and I feel like Lil Wayne actually probably did a lot more than what we heard, and Tyler might have snipped and chopped and whatever with it a bit. But I just feel like there's less in Lil Wayne's verse in Hot Wind Blows than we've heard in Lil Wayne in other songs that are even on this list, to be honest.
What about you, Theo?
Cool. I like this verse. I like this verse a lot. But if I'm going on my true feeling, it's a verse that is great, iconic, and I'll remember. I can't even get my words together. Remember it, but compared to the other verses on this list, and especially when we compare it to In the Fire, man, In the Fire was a moment. That verse gave me goosebumps, and it still gives me goosebumps because the way he does it, where I cannot say that, even though the verse is dope, and I won't take that away from Lil Wayne. I can't say Lil Wayne's verse gave me goosebumps. It got me gassed. I'm not going to lie, but goosebumps.
It got a wheel up.
Yeah.
I think
It's a
goosebumps is an
different
important
sort of
thing,
feeling.
actually.
Yeah, it's
you're
a
right.
different feeling.
Yeah. No, I'll let go of it. I hear what everyone's saying.
All right. Okay. So, and just to make clear, like all these verses are amazing. Like, you know,
they're all 10 out of 10.
Well, this is the thing as well. I'm glad everyone came with a personal list. We always come with these personal lists rather than like, oh, this is objectively the best, because that way you can defend it better when you actually care about what the song is, rather than going, oh, this is the best feature because blah blah blah.
Preach.
Okay, so all right, we're down to the final 10. What did everyone have at their 10? I guess.
I guess mine's going to be the Gets bit now, but
You just hold on to that one.
No,
that's your own
wild.
problem. You know what?
You lot put that at number 1 if you want.
Should
That's
I
my
tell
10.
you what I had?
It's not number 1.
Take a guess what I had at number 10.
Nas, verbal
Yeah,
intercourse.
Nas.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was actually my 9th, by the way. That was my 9th.
Wild.
So
Thank you.
Absolutely wilding.
For me, that can't be top 10 because it's not that good.
Theo's bugging.
no,
This is saying
no,
Wildin'
no,
though. What are you
Nas
saying?
only
I'm a
got
big
good.
Nas fan, and that's my 9th pick.
Nas
So-
only got good last year with King's Disease 2. I've
Okay,
said
I'm not condoning what you're saying, Sam. I'm not condoning.
that's
Sean's looking for the sense. He's looking around
Sean
like,
can't
where's
even
the
look
sense?
Where's that? No, he's actually looking at something.
Oh, he's talking to people.
He was actually looking at something.
Fair enough.
Yo,
But,
I love it, man.
Should we wait for him to come back or keep talking?
I'm talking. I'm getting
You're cool,
these lyrics
Phil.
up
Phil,
so I can just
get
educate.
through what you're
You
saying,
don't need
innit?
to
Get through what you're
educate me,
saying.
man. Nas ain't all
No,
that,
educating.
Wait, Theo, though.
Oh, he's
look,
back.
I'm a massive Nas fan, so it's not
Yeah.
about the education. I put it at number 9 as well. So what are you trying to say?
Is this number 1 for you? Is this what you're
I
trying
mean,
to tell us?
no, this ain't number 1. That's.
Is it in
Sean
the top
can't
5?
believe
this,
it.
This is
Sean
what we always
can't
have to end
believe
up getting to. Is it in the top 5 or is it in the bottom 5?
That's just.
5.
It's not top 5.
Can we just play the first 4 lines? It's the greatest
No,
4
because
lines.
we're talking about the whole
Opening 4 lines
verse.
to any
We're talking
verse
about the
I've
whole
ever heard.
verse. But the first 4
Just play the
lines.
first 4 lines.
I listened to it earlier.
Sam has a problem
Yeah,
with Nas, innit?
No, let's
I
run this. Let's
do.
run this
When
verse.
do I ever
Let's-
hide this? Where is it?
No, run the verse. Run the verse. We need to hear
Run
it.
the
Run the
verse.
verse.
That RZA beat. No, that could actually be number one. So from 9 to 1, I'm just gonna say it.
That's
let me
blasphemy. I told you. Obviously,
I'm
nine.
gassed.
I put it at 10 because you know what I'm like. Yeah? I'm just gonna put it at 10 because I just felt like that's going there. Let's put that there. But it's realistically not 10 for
You
me.
put it at 10 because you
It's
hate
not
Nas.
10.
Let's
It's
be
not
real.
10.
I don't hate
It's not
Nas
10
anymore.
at all.
I've changed. King's disease
You're
2.
changed,
I'm
man.
infected with that.
So are we gonna move on to a different someone
Moving
else's
on.
10?
Let's move
Yeah,
on.
well,
Yeah, there's stuff to say about that verse though. There are things to be said. But
What's your 10?
Kieran, what was your 10? I've
I've got an 8. I've got an 8. I can say, which is AZ Life's a Bitch.
No, you're
Guys, no. You two need to chill because I know
just want
Sam's
Nas
agreeing
to
with
be
me.
the top 2
No,
positions.
man,
You see what
Life's
I'm
a
trying to
Bitch
say?
is not higher
That is
than
not
like
good.
8th place.
It's really boring.
Like, I was considering 12 on that one. Do you know what I mean?
I let it stick because I
You
like
guys-
the song.
You guys are hella gassed off
I
that.
like
You
the
just
song.
grow up, like.
No, that song's got an iconic hook. That's what it is for me.
It's the hook, yeah, but
it's not the hook. No,
Oh,
you
man.
just you are actually
He's
two
just-
are just.
He's just
no, you
spreading
two are
Nas's
some
style. Let's
different
just be
strategy.
real. He's
We're
doing
two
Nas's
separate
thing.
You two are on some different.
He's just rapping a Nas verse.
He's actually doing the
How
opposite.
can you say that's hey? What?
He's
are
actually
you
doing the
talking
opposite.
about?
To be
That
honest,
verse
yeah.
is
No.
hard.
I'm being honest with you both, yeah. I never really liked much of Illmatic, yeah, but I do like Life's a Bitch. So that's why
I do too,
it's not
yeah,
that
yeah.
low down for me. But if we're talking about the
It's 8.
feature, I don't think the feature's that good. The hook is good to me. So that's
Oh,
where I'm.
no,
I'm not
I
saying
can't
it's
cope
it's
with
where Kieran's
Nah,
putting it.
It's when you deep the lyrics and the flows, man. I don't know how
The lyrics are touching, the flow's touching, but we got lyrics and flows later on. Do you know what I mean?
got
We
a
got
lot
ones that
going
do
on.
more as well.
Yeah,
He does a basic, like
No,
hip
I'm
hop
gonna-
was different
no, it's
back
not
then,
basic.
innit?
No, this is
man.
this is a load of nonsense, man.
You got-
I
listen,
can't believe
listen,
it.
let me
Absolute
say
load
what-
of
let me say my
nonsense. How,
thing.
how is that 8? That is ridiculous. That is
Yeah, hang on,
actually
look.
atrocious.
You got to look at it like this as well, right? If you try and put yourself in that time, if you can,
I
yeah.
can't. I wasn't even alive.
Nas is no, but we've all
We're
done.
not
the
in that
history,
time anymore.
We've
though.
all done the history.
Times
Nas
have
was like the
changed.
golden boy. Hey, let me say my piece. Nas was the golden boy at the time, yeah. All the top MCs of the golden era were like, this is the next guy. You know, Live at the Barbecue, Halftime. The anticipation for the album was huge, yeah. He drops the album. There's only one rap feature on there. Some unknown guy called AZ, yeah.
Mm.
All that pressure, top producers all over the album. Like I said, highly anticipated. And he gives us that, right? This mature, dense verse. The guy's like 21, 22 at the time. I don't know how old he was when he wrote it. To say like he was bred in Nas or whatever, he provided like a contrasting cadence. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that, it's like that clear. It's a different sound, that verse, yeah. We're
I'm
talking
sorry, man.
higher
Yeah,
level.
I take back that comment.
Yeah.
that was the heat of the moment.
You
I
have
never said
high
it.
level, like multi-syllable rhymes at the time, which yes, we had that, but still, the way he was doing it with his voice, his flow.
His voice
was
sounds
not-
nice. He does sound better than Nas on the song as well, which was impressive because it's like,
And
who is this Nas guy? He
And
sounds
the amount
amazing.
he packs in
Yeah.
to that 16, you've
But
got
the
like,
thing is-
everything from talking about the American dream to 5%ers to
But hold
it's like-
on,
it's
'cause-
almost like a Juicy the way it is. It's
Everything
like
you're
a
saying
come-up
to
story.
me is impact. It's not like penmanship. What you're saying to me, some element of it is penmanship. What you're saying, but a lot of it's impact. And if I think like
visualizing the realism. Of
no,
life
but
in
wait.
actuality.
Because if we were talking impactful verses, like I said in the WhatsApp group chat, Control would definitely be on this because it shook up the whole rap industry and it's lyrical as well. Like there's lyrics on that are on the level of AZ Life's a Bitch as well, like lyrical wordplay, all of that. If we were doing an impactful list, Control would be here. And I think some of the points you said were impact, not like penmanship.
No, but I'm talking about the content of the verse as well. I'm talking about the technique too. And then I guess maybe this is impact as well, but the hook is just iconic. It's like cream level.
It really
It's,
is.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just stood the test of time. I'm not saying where I've got it, but I'm not feeling 8. Like 8 is wild, but
8 is just disrespectful. If you ask me,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So what's your 10 then, Theo?
Well, yeah,
My 10.
Let's hear you.
Okay, so this is gonna probably be a bit wild, but For me, it's Kanye West Run This
I'm
Town.
not hearing that,
Ah,
man.
Me too.
I'm not hearing that.
See, that's
Me
not
too.
that's not what we're gonna do on this recording today. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this foolishness.
I see.
Literally.
Theo, listen, I see your perspective, but it's
Yeah.
wrong. So I'm just gonna say it's wrong. Like, I'm just.
We're not
I
gonna
have to
do
be
that.
real.
We're not
Like,
gonna say Kanye West Run This Town isn't at least touching up closer to the top
that's got to be
five.
top 5 for me. I'm just
You're
gonna
going
say
too
it.
far. You're going too
I'm
far.
gonna have to say it. Like,
Top
who's
five
got
is just
the
mad.
attitude
That's
on that
mad.
verse is different. The cadence on that verse is so different.
The way the beat switches up at everything, and then the guitar comes back in.
And
like,
he
it's
made the
almost
beat
not
as well.
way-
Are
not
we
the way.
giving him a half point for that? I
what
want
I'm
a
saying.
0.5 point for Kanye for that one. you
It's
know?
almost like what happens with Gets in the Fire. The beat switching up, the beats
Trust
building
me.
back. It's climactic,
Man.
man. But it's not. I'm sorry.
Kanye was doing that for himself.
Yeah, trust me. So, God, Sean put his hand up. He was ready to get order.
The raise hand, like.
Oh,
Oh no, I think he's got a break.
okay. All right. Well, but Theo, Run This Town. Why?
I don't know,
Have
man.
you
I
never been
just
from
think there's
Joe
just...
Blow to everybody on your dick, no homo?
That verse is so iconic, Theo. Every bar. That's the throne. Nah.
I don't know where you're
can't,
getting
man.
these opinions
The
from.
pocket.
He's
Think
not
about
even
the pocket
explaining
Kanye
himself.
caught as well. Jay-Z didn't even have a pocket like that, and Jay-Z caught a pocket.
I'm
Yes,
just going to
it
be
is
real because
iconic.
I agree with I've got the same as Theo, but I'm being completely and utterly just honest. I don't have any points to say why, other than I've always liked the verse. I've just never understood when it gets brought up in the greatest category. I just like Percy. It's just never hit like that for me.
Wow.
Never hit like that.
Wow.
I'm just being honest. I have no
Because it's
intelligent
like
points to make.
It's such a
It's just-
flexy verse because the whole song's about like we're in charge, we're taking over. And he just tells you about stuff that you ain't really doing. You know what I mean?
I think about how he's funny throughout the whole verse, but actually the content of it's quite serious a lot of the time. Like the shoes without shoestrings, like it's such a ridiculous line. It makes you laugh, but it's like deep as well. It's that quintessential Kanye in one verse, and I think it's peak Kanye for me.
It's a different type of rap flex that we haven't ever heard at that point. It's just weird. It's wacky. It's different. Like,
Who can rap like in that style? Like he's so cocky on it, and it just comes off in a good way on that one.
like I-
So
obviously,
we're kind of split down the middle then.
I can agree that it's in the lower 5, but I'm not. putting
I'll
it
accept.
at number
I'll accept that L.
All right,
but-
we'll pause there for now. So we've the ones we spoke about. I mean, I can't believe some of the ones we spoke about. But what's everyone got? What's everyone got in 9? What's everyone got for 9? I've got Mona Lisa.
I'm not hearing that.
10. No, I was about to say.
I'm
that.
Oh,
not.
man,
That part where
why we
Kendrick
just-
starts
oh,
doing that,
God,
like,
what?
this is where your ringtone is, waiting on
Sean,
your phone. That's
Like
fucking
you're the
banging.
biggest Kendrick fan here as well, and you're saying that. Like what?
Do you know what it is, right? It's amazing storytelling, yeah. Incredible storytelling. And Kendrick's range, like with the different voices and the flows and all that. It's like really emotive, creative, even like the production changes on it, which is an aspect that I like in the Gets feature as well. I like that it's a tribute to Slick Rick. I think it is anyway, I guess.
We don't
He's,
talk about
he's
Slick
got the
Rick
Mona
after what
Lisa
you
track.
lot
He's
said
the
in that
king of
We're not speaking about
storytelling. This is my point, though. Hendrick kills it, yeah. But is Wayne's verse better?
Yeah.
I
There you
think
go. That's why I have.
it's
that's why I have
arguable.
it.
I think it's more arguable. It's not actually as certified as Sam was saying.
They're doing, no. The reason why I said yes so quickly is because they're doing two completely different things.
Well, it's different sides of the story, isn't it? He's the sort of like
Yeah. And
Well,
also, it's
Wayne's
not
verse
like-
wouldn't be
victim.
Wayne's verse wouldn't be what it is without Kendrick's verse as well. Like Wayne's like the protagonist, Kendrick's the antagonist, right? If you just had that Wayne bit, you'd be like, okay, cool. It's one of Wayne's best tracks, but you don't have that comparison. Like there's a different world that is like as like good as well. I don't know. I feel like Kendrick arguably killed it though.
Do you know what the problem
He
is
did.
right
He
now?
did kill it, but I
No,
think
Kendrick
it's just
definitely
fine
killed it,
margins
that's
in it.
true.
And I think Wayne had it for me. And also, if I'm being nitpicky as hell, I remember feeling this at the time, and I felt it when I was listening for this. You can kind of tell it's an old verse from Kendrick. You can tell the album was delayed.
That's not a problem though for me though. I don't see how that's
Fine
a problem.
margins. Fine margins. So
Do Do you know what my real problem is right now? I
Nah,
feel like we're going about the list
I'm
the
not
wrong
having
way.
that.
Going from
I'm not
10
having
up to
that.
1 is feeling really weird. Like, but if we went from 1 down, it might work better because like.
Should we flip the order?
No, because the problem is right now we're all disagreeing on what goes where, but it's like maybe we have a lot more like, you know what I mean?
Sam, I'm hearing what you're saying.
A lot more kind
Yeah,
of like
listen.
convergence.
Well, I know
on
what my
the
number
top-
one is, man.
What's
So,
that?
and I'm
Everyone just say their number one in it. Let's just go
fighting
round.
people if it's not number one.
Let's go round and say our number
fighting
ones.
heads. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, we already.
Mine's Nicki
It's not- it
Minaj
does- it-
Monster.
Thank you,
Nicki
thank
Minaj
you
Monster.
so
No,
much.
it's not. No,
It's that or Life
no,
of the Party.
No, it's Life of the Party. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
It's
Life of the Party is my
That's
number
my
2. So
one.
what's
No,
Sean's
it's
as
the
well?
Life of the Party.
Oh, Theo, the confidence. That verse is hella new, you know.
He says
That's
no,
like
no,
4
no.
months old.
Don't care.
Sure.
It's number one. Don't care.
Because
It
the
is
problem
number
is, yeah,
one.
No, I love it, Theo. I love it.
Listeners who listen to us
Number one.
disagreeing about what's what and what's going on, yeah. But it's like if we know what number 1 is, maybe we can fill in the blanks a little easier. Like I know we did spoil.
Everyone say their number 1 and number 2.
Yeah,
'Cause I think that
Nicki
helped it.
Minaj
Yeah.
goes number 2 as well, man. Because Nicki Minaj.
It's Monster and Life of the Party for me.
It's
For
disgusting.
Theo, what are you saying, Sam?
Same. I don't know what order, but I'm in the same mindset. It's Monster or Life of the Party.
Sean, what are you saying?
I got Life's a Bitch and Renegade.
This is bad. This is so bad. We might not even be able to make a top 10. You know, we might just have to go.
I don't know
these
where
are the
we're
10
going.
best
We've just
features.
like completely like yeah.
Sean, you need to park that bus. You know, they're getting spoken about later.
Nah.
I mean, I've said my piece about Life's a Bitch. I won't repeat it.
You have said a lot. You've said a lot about that.
I think you should say some more. I'm joking. Don't say it a lot more. But all right, okay, all right. So now we know what's not in the bottom 5 at least. Monster and Life of the Party is nowhere near the bottom 5, right? So what we're left with right now is Run This Town, Mona Lisa, Biggie, Victory, Eminem, Forgot About Dre, and In the Fire, and Renegade, and Verbal Intercourse. Now, I'm willing to say Forgot About Dre is in the bottom 5.
I'm
agree.
definitely willing for that. So yeah,
No,
I agree.
I'm happy with that because I was going to say that as well because Renegade's a better verse for me anyway. So I'm happy that Forgot About Dre is in the bottom half.
Forgot About Dre is more about the moment rather than
Yeah,
Isn't Renegade
exactly.
anything else.
an Eminem feature?
Yeah, it is. it is.
Okay. I'm just checking because it's like in my head, I'm like,
But that's why
it
that's
feels
how
like an Eminem song.
that's how you know Renegade is the one though, because Renegade is like that is the quintessential murdered on your own song track. Now I'm not saying he actually murdered Jay-Z on the song, but I mean Nas said it and it became a whole thing. Do you know what I
He
mean? It was a
did,
quote.
though. He did.
Jay-Z
But
said
you
something interesting,
yeah,
you know. He said people only thought Eminem's verse was better than mine because he wrote the hi-hats. And I thought, you know what? It's like slightly true to some extent in terms of flow. But yeah.
Now my thing with the difference with Forgot About Dre and Renegade was, for me, Forgot About Dre was like maybe the best Slim Shady verse when he was like fully in that character and he just fucking kills it. But it's not as masterful as the way he puts together that Renegade verse. And it's a quite mature take on and reflection of his career at that moment and like answering the critics and that. But he's doing it like I won't butcher it, but the way he gets the rhyme schemes and the flipping wordplay and all that is just so on point. To me, it's like that was when Eminem was in his peak. You know, I'm not saying that the Eminem Show was his best album and all that, but for me, like 2001, 2002, he really was he sounded really comfortable. Do you get what I mean? Like he
was the best rapper into the 2000s for a reason as well. And like I feel like Renegade was one of the main reasons.
Yeah,
I agree with
Eminem
about
fans
Forgot
don't
About
know
Dre. I had
song.
that as and the flow and Forgot About Dre is amazing as well. That kind of almost staccato thing and the hook as well, like the speed. But I had it number 8 on my list, so bottom 5 makes sense. Yeah,
Even the anecdote on Forgot About Dre, I just love it. It's crazy, so crazy.
So we're still trying to pin down what is at the bottom. Obviously, we've told you lot what's at the top, yeah. But for me, I don't know. Forgot About Dre somewhere in the bottom 3, and it's not to say it's rubbish or anything like that, but it's just there because we've got a different Eminem verse that is arguably way better, and just like Sean said, just something special. I want to say this, but this doesn't reflect my actual opinion, yeah. Biggie Smalls or Notorious B.I.G., that feature's not that good. Biggie Smalls is one of the best rappers in the world, but that feature's not that good. I'd be happy.
I'm glad you brought this up. Because I thought I was going to get shouted at if I said like let's put Victory in the bottom half.
I was about to just suggest that. I saw to be
It's
honest.
7.
Yeah.
Had it 7.
I want to put.
I think it deserves a top 10. I think it deserves a top 10 list though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised what Sam's saying.
No, but it's not.
My thing with
he's a great rapper, but it's like I feel like Biggie's best verses aren't his features. Some of them are his songs,
I agree.
where it was
I agree.
almost him featuring
That's true.
himself because he's got so many different sides and personalities. But
I think a thing that kind of elevated this one is apparently it was his final
It's just
recording.
he
wasn't it?
recorded it like 3 days before dying.
he died.
And the
When-
fact that the thing that I was alluding to right at the beginning was that because Sam, you said something like it didn't feel like a Puff song. It felt, I don't know what you said, but basically,
Puff Daddy doesn't make
apparently,
music.
you know,
he just has
Big does a
people on his
second
songs.
verse. The second verse was actually meant to be a reference for Puff,
Yeah,
but because of the death and everything like that, they thought let's just put that in there.
Oh,
and
that's
give him
interesting.
this. Yeah.
Do you know
but
what?
for
The
me,
second
it's-
verse never hits the way the first verse does, even though the second verse is good
No.
as well.
Exactly, yeah. But for me, it was, it's. I think it's a classic verse, classic feature. But there is an argument that he has had better features as well. But for me, it probably still is the number one out of his. But a lot of people like the Flavor in Your Ear remix. There's Brooklyn's Finest.
Well,
There's,
yeah,
do
do
you
you
know-
Finest is like
What's that
hard. That's
R&B
what I would have
group?
put that. Yeah.
Oh, there's another one.
The reason why I picked
Only You,
this,
Only You.
though, The reason why I picked this though is I think it's the feeling it gives me when I listen to it, because you know, like this is the last thing he's ever rapped. You know, like it gives you this feeling like what was to come. He's doing his mafioso kind of style, but then he's mixing it with his flashy rap style as well. That whole bad boy kind of flows and all of this kind of stuff. But for me, it's like my head feels like it's exploding when I listen to it, because it's like the beat like smashes when it drops, when he comes in. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like the orchestral, then Busta Rhymes comes in, he starts like, I can't say that word. Yeah, he starts going crazy. Like, I can't do it here, man. I can't do it here. He does it though. He does that thing like Busta Rhymes is speaking unintelligible stuff, and I know he's just reacting to what Biggie just rapped, because that's how I'm feeling when I listen to it. It's crazy.
No, I agree.
it's a great
It's
verse.
crazy.
I agree.
But
I
I'm
agree.
thinking,
Honestly.
I'm looking at in the correlation of what we've got here, yeah, and what I'm deeming to be a good feature, which is the theme, the flow, sticking to the theme, as well a little bit storytelling, if that's a thing that can be done in that verse. So that for me, it's like, okay, let's say Forgot About Dre and Biggie are kind of floating around in the bottom, but they're by no means terrible rappers or terrible verses. They're just up against some really difficult tracks.
And you're just trying to put it nicely.
But it's gonna end up this way. Like
You sweetened your words a bit.
it's one of
I
those
hear
ones
it.
where right now we can't say like any of these tracks are bad. There's hundreds of thousands of rap features in the world. These are what we're saying are the best 10.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
slide in Nas verbal into. I'm checking now.
Okay, so we've got two that are definitely in the bottom 5.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. What have we not spoken about?
We haven't spoken about Life of the Party, but I feel like we have to save that. Otherwise, we'll be here for 3
We
hours.
haven't
yeah,
spoken
yeah.
about Monster, Laugh of the Party, but I think
But we know they're at the
Devon,
Well, we know
Them
them
and
two are at the
Renegade,
top. So
them
that's-
two, but I think
yeah.
Renegade could be debated to be in the top 2, but we'll get
Nah, Renegade goes at 3. That's what I'm saying.
Renegade could be number 1, realistically.
could be. I could be. I'm
I mean, it
float-
could,
I'm
yeah, it
floating
could.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it could be
floating
number 1
it, but
because
there's a lot of reasons why 3 of us put the other 2 in the top 2.
But hang on, we had, just to go back to, because again, for the sake of just trying to get to a decision. So me and Theo had Run This Town at 10. And Sam, you said, what did you say? You were like,
It's got to be close
Almost
to the top
like-
5.
huh?
It's got to be
It's got to be close to.
It's gotta be
But
close
you
to-
said something about it being in the bottom 5, didn't you? I swear you did.
Yeah, most likely. But it's,
Most likely.
I said it's got to be close to the top 5. You see what I'm angling for here? A 6 or a 7.
I'm definitely saying like it goes. Forgot About Dre and Victory are like 10 and 9, right?
Okay.
And it's between. Oh man, I know Theo and
Release
Shush will not want to hear this, but like Run This Town is going to be somewhere in the
In that next 3.
8, 7, 6 place.
Okay.
I'd put Life's a Bitch there as well. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Like,
madness.
The way we're stressing these two out, but what are we missing? Like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
I don't know. Like, I'm saying, like, we've got to do Life's a Bitch, Run This Town, In the Fire, and Verbal Intercourse. Like, I think they all got to go there.
Oh no, okay. I got
What
I got
Kendrick
one.
does on Mona
wait.
Lisa
I
is
got-
different.
Both of you keep your hands off your keyboards, yeah? And name me 2 more AZ tracks. If you can name me 2 more AZ tracks, then we can talk about keeping that out of the bottom 5.
2 more tracks.
2 more AZ.
2 more tracks. Flow
Sugar
and
Hill.
Orange is wonderful.
Like features, you mean? Some.
Oh, features.
Some, yeah.
Features.
Wait, hang on. But I hate when people say this because we're talking about this feature. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
if someone
exactly.
only ever released one song in their whole life. If it's that good, it doesn't matter.
Name me 2 more.
worst
Name me 2 more.
argument.
You're not seeing the reason why I'm
Why are
asking
you
you this.
forcing it?
So
I'm asking
bad.
you because,
Why are you forcing
because there's 2 albums that you both love that this guy is on, and you guys aren't even talking about him in the same regard.
I don't even
Say that
know
again?
where this is going. But
What are you? What?
I just don't want
2
it in the top
albums.
5. That's what I'm trying to do right now. AZ is on Hitler Wears Hermes and he's on King's Disease 1. You guys don't even listen to him or rate him like that. So where he goes into the bottom 5.
No,
now.
obviously he's on. Yeah, because he's on that where the firm is there on King Disease 1.
Listen, I love that Do or Die album as well. That's like, I love it.
He's
So-
also on Rick Ross's new album, Theo, the album that you also love.
Yeah, and he does well on that.
Don't know his. Say some of his
Oh
bars.
my
format.
god!
the format.
Say some of his bars. This is getting wild now.
He's a legend, man. He is a legend.
He's not my legend, so he's in the bottom 5.
wait, can I ask Theo and Sean, what's better? Theo first, Verbal Intercourse or Life's a Bitch?
No, life's a bitch better than verbal. Yeah, it's better than verbal intercourse. No, yeah, 100%.
Okay, I'm willing to accept Life's a Bitch at like 5th place, like max.
Whoa.
Max.
What about you, Sean?
man, I'm not-
Same question that Kieran asked, but to you.
Max.
Sorry.
Sean agreed.
You asking?
Sean said the same
Sean
thing as
agreed.
Theo.
Yeah, Sean said the
Yeah.
same thing.
Swear down.
Life's a Bitch is my number 1, so as high as it can
Yeah.
go.
I'll accept that at 5. Like, I can't disrespect you like that.
Let's
But
be respectful of these two's opinion and say
yeah,
that Verbal Intercourse is number 6.
what's below that then?
Run This Town.
Okay. I'm seeing this shaping up.
Actually, no. Run This Town.
Just to
is
quickly go back to Mona Lisa as well,
Yeah.
because again, I'm repeating myself, fine margins. Kieran, I can tell it is for you, but Theo and Sam, I'm interested to know, has it got the replay value? Like,
Nah.
do you really like sit there and go, I want
No.
to hear Kendrick make all these noises?
No, not really.
I'm-
Personally, not myself.
Nah, but it's a good song, and
It's got his hand over his
I
That was a bit harsh the way I worded it. I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I don't remember where I said it should go, but I feel like it's definitely in the bottom 5.
But you know what Sean always says though? Like, great things aren't always just supposed to be palatable or like re-listenable or
Fucking
something.
use
Like,
my words
this is
against me.
yeah, no, because he's talking about horrific things. Like, the guy's a villain in it. Like, it's not meant to be. Like, we like Wayne because he's the hero of the story. But Kendrick's coming in like he's this dude that was with the woman. Like, he's not sounding cool. He's sounding a bit crazy, like psycho even. And it's not meant to be like fun per se to listen to, even though he like embellishes it with lots of fun elements. The beat switches up, all of this kind of stuff, and it's. I don't know. For me, I don't care if it was To Pimp a Butterfly Kendrick, because that's his best period in my opinion. Like that's the top tier Kendrick that we can get. Like, his voice manipulation on that is actually better than any other time he's ever voice manipulated. That's real. He does all of his voices on it, and they all balance in a way that actually still works as the same character. Like, is he schizo? I don't even know, but I'm enjoying it in a weird kind of way.
No, I'll give you that one. Definitely.
But it's still
'cause you
defo in the bottom
quoted
5.
me for fuck's sake.
No, it's not. Sorry.
defo in the bottom 5.
I can't have that.
The thing that I'll stick with though, that I'll stand by is just, and you know, you lot can agree or not, I don't mind, but for me it's just the fact that I think that Wayne had the better verse. Therefore, Kendrick's, as amazing as it is, because it's an incredible cinematic song and verse. Because Wayne has it for me, it's like, can I put this in a
But
top
let
10?
me
Or
just
can I put it in
like,
a top
so
5? Sorry.
So that's saying like Wayne's done like the best verse ever, right? Just because the second verse is the second best verse ever, it's not the best, one of the best verses ever now. Is that what you're trying to
But
say?
no, but Wayne's verse isn't better than like most of the verses.
He's making valid points, but these points
I'm
are
just
still
saying it,
wild
like-
because it's like it's not in the top 5, man. It's not because of
not
what
top
Sean's
5.
saying. Because of what Sean's saying,
But
it's making me
Sam,
realize.
you know your arguments are putting Nas in the top 5. Like, I'm just telling you that.
I want verbal intercourse at number 6 for valid.
It's not. It's not going that way. The way this is going. I'm looking at this type up. I'm like,
Where is the type up?
I don't know, man. I'm just drafting one right now.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's not even on the.
Well, right now, what's stuck in the bottom 5 for sure is Run This Town, Run This Town, Biggie Victory, and Forgot About Dre.
Forgot About Dre.
So we've got 3 that are sticking in the bottom 5, but it's like realistically, there's no order to them. And I feel like we just shouldn't order the bottom 5 because it's going to get too messy otherwise.
We can try, but let's just try and keep drafting
We
a bit.
clearly can't because me and you have 2 tracks that these 2 are saying are number 1 and 2 in the bottom 5.
Sorry, we might need to edit this, but repeat that again. What is the current? What have you got in the
Look,
bottom 5?
I'll tell you what I've got written down because I feel like I'm missing something. I got Renegade Monster, Life of the Party. That's like 3.
Yeah, they're top. Yeah, they're top.
There's somewhere like in the middle is Life's a Bitch and Verbal Intercourse and Mona Lisa. And then I've got Run This Town. Sorry, Lisa.
Renegade Monster, Life of the Party.
Sure, the type fast, but not that fast. Like a stenographer in the court. Just like
Some
this.
middle section, Life's a Bitch, Verbal Intercourse, Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
And then after that, the bottom bits are like Run This Town, Forgot About Dre, Victory. What's missing? Because
Yeah, what
my
is
head's
missing?
like, what? I'm baffled. That's not 10 though.
We're missing. We are missing In the Fire.
One's missing. In the Fire.
Oh,
that's
in the
right, yeah,
fire.
yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah,
what's
we are
that
missing.
bit?
So you're thinking Mona Lisa isn't as good as In the Fire verse? I don't care about impact.
In the Fire is better than Mona Lisa.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I would think as well. Surely.
If 3 people are saying it, then let's just go with it. Like, I'm too tired
I
to
think
debate
Mona
this one.
Lisa. I think no. After listening, I think Mona Lisa needs to go in the bottom half. No cap. I think that's where it needs to go.
After listening, what were you just listening to it now?
No.
What are you on about, man? Like what?
No, listening to all the points.
Nah. Okay.
I feel like we may need to like take out this section, and then once we get our bottom 5, just restart from there.
What is Mona Lisa 6 then? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, Mona Lisa needs to go 6. That's what I'm saying.
This guy is losing his fucking mind right now. What do you mean? Why is Mona Lisa
getting
number
killed.
6? Why can't it go lower down?
It's that. Oh, why can't it go? Oh, wow! I was trying to please Kieran. It can go lower down for me.
I don't care about that.
Just-
What I care about realistically is getting Nas out that top 5. That's all I need to
my
establish
God,
right
man.
now.
This is-
That's what I need to
something
establish.
else,
This
man.
is very instant. Because either way, I'm gonna edit this to make it sound like Nas is at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I'm rejigging the order and the edit.
No, I'm being stubborn. I'll have verbal intercourse at 6. But
You guys need to let go because I'm seeing 3 of my picks all in the bottom. Like I'm not seeing any. I'll just be real. Like, you just pushed. One of mine's is out. One of mine's 10th. One of mine's 8th or something. Like I've been too easy with you. I can't. Mona Lisa. Boy.
Oh, that's actually so funny. Oh my god.
Wow.
The
Right.
thing is that I was just letting you all pick high ones. I knew you would all say the obvious ones anyway.
This is the thing, right? Right? We're stuck in the bottom 5, and I feel like the top 5 is going to be so easy that it's going to be great. But the problem is we're not agreeing on what is in the rest of that top 5 space right now. That's the big problem.
Let me read it out and fulfill the gaps. Renegade, Monster, Life of the Party. What's
in the
next?
Fire.
In the Fire.
Yeah, in the fire. I hear that. Number 4.
Fine.
Yeah.
But then what comes
Fine.
next? Someone else say, Sean, what's next for you? What's number 5?
What comes next?
Life's a
let's
bitch.
go. Yeah,
Theo. Okay. What
yeah,
about you?
yeah. It's
What
got to
about
be
you,
Life's a
Kieran?
Bitch.
I mean, if you're asking me like personally, on like a personal level, it would be Run This Town. Yeah, it would be. It would be. You know, it is Kanye done it.
Oh my
Man,
days!
like you're talking to two Kanye stands right now.
You got to take the lens off.
Woo! There, but like I feel like it's just different, isn't it? When I was driving down the A40 rapping that whole verse, like no other verse on this list does that for me. It's different. Maybe
I
Nicki
stay
Monster does that,
stunting.
but
I'm Riesling after Riesling. Hey.
it's just disgusting, man. Like that. Have you ever had shoes without shoestrings? I feel like that changed my life. Like I'm gonna be real.
You're like, I'm only wearing Toms from now on. That's it.
No, I just made me think like, what's going on here? Like, do I need to up my fashion game, or am I like privileged? Like, sure. Do you know what I mean? No other verse is doing that for me like that.
For me, Run This Town is going at number 6, but I don't know what really goes in at number 5.
AZ and Nas will be above it then. You've condemned yourself.
I haven't condemned myself because I don't know what goes in at number 5 for me personally. I don't really think I even thought about what goes in at number 5. I just know my top 4.
I think
Right.
Life's a Bitch definitely at 5.
Life's a Bitch was in your top 4, Sam.
No. I didn't say that. When did I ever
Right,
say
let's.
that?
I think I've got a. Oh shit! Right, I feel like. So 5, 6, 7. Right, let's ignore that for now. 5, 6, 7, which is Run This Town, Life's a Bitch, Verbal Intercourse. Just ignore those 3. Yeah. So we've got Puff, Biggie, Victory, Forgot About Dre, Kendrick, Mona Lisa. As the bottom 3. Does that make
That
sense?
made my stomach turn, man. Oh god! I swear, like I felt acid spinning in my stomach when you said that.
Wait, out of those 3, let's go round. Out of those 3, let's go round. Which one's number 10, Sam?
Why me first? Can you say it again? Renegade.
So I'll go first. Yeah. No. Bottom 3. Yeah. I'll say mine first. In fact, I'll say my order. Right of those 3. So number 10.
Victory. There we go. Victory. Yeah.
Victory's number 10.
Yeah.
I put that
Yeah,
at number
Victory.
10.
It's the same for me.
Okay, so we've got a 10. Okay, so Victory is number 10. We've got to write that down now.
I was baffed.
It's
I
finally
was
getting
thinking
official.
I was thinking, was that Sean's order? Or is that just how he's saying them? I'm like, because for me,
Okay.
I think Victory is number 10. But yeah, Victory is number 10.
Number 9, Mona Lisa or Forgot About Dre.
Forgot about Dre.
Forgot About Dre.
I would have said Mona
Put
Lisa.
some respect on
I would have said Mona Lisa, but
man.
I'll give you Forgot About Dre if yeah.
No, I'm giving you Forgot About Dre. You can keep that one.
What does that even mean? I said I give it. Nah,
Victory's 10.
you misunderstood. I gave it to you.
Victory's number 10, Forgot About Dre number 9, Mona Lisa number 8. There we go. Right. So 7, 6, 5. We got, like I said, Verbal Intercourse, Run This Town, Life's a Bitch. I feel like Verbal Intercourse is going to go 7. As much as that, I don't like that. But anyway. So yeah, we agree.
What do you mean agree? I would put it at number 10 if I could have, but that's just the way, you know what I'm saying? Life's a bitch.
No. Oh god.
Bargain.
You
So then it's between Life's a Bitch and Run This Town for number 6.
Yeah.
It's Run This Down at number 6.
Yeah, I'm happy with
I
that.
agree.
It ended up where I wanted it to go. I know,
There we
Kieran,
go.
you gotta let it go, man. You gotta let it go. Like,
You see me? I'm not smiling anymore. I'm not smiling anymore.
Sounds like-
Like Run This Town was my pick if someone else didn't say it.
it was my
Okay.
pick too, but I'm
So-
happy to see it get to where it got to.
All right. So Sam, I don't know how you're going to edit this and all that, but if we quickly run through that and then hop in and hop out or whatever the flipping phrase is that we always say.
Sam's gonna keep the whole thing.
Sometimes they need the raw thing.
So number 10 is Biggie on Victory. Number 9 is M on Forgot About Dre. Number 8 is Kendrick Lamar on Mona Lisa. Number 7 is Nas on.
Oh, it did not want you to say that. The Matrix did not want you to say that. The Matrix said, no way.
Oh man, this call is chaotic.
I finished the whole list there.
You nearly did.
Shall I do it again?
Why not?
If you want to, yeah. You could start from, I heard number 6 and it's like number 7 is, and you
Yeah.
ended.
Right. I'll do it. I'll just
I
quickly
can't.
do it.
I don't want to hear it though, man. You keep making my stomach
Oh my
spin when
God.
you say that one. Oh man, I'm gonna take them my headphones. You can do this run through.
Wow.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
my days.
Okay, so number 10 is Biggie on Victory. Number 9 is M on Forgot About Dre. Number 8 is Kendrick Lamar on Mona Lisa. Number 7 is Nas on Verbal Intercourse. Number 6 is Kanye West on Run This Town. And number 5 is AZ on Life's a Bitch. So we're down to our top 4.
It's getting easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it sounds like number 4 is pretty easy after what the consensus has said, which is it's Gets.
Well, apart
in
from
the
what
fire.
Kieran originally said, well, we're disregarding now. We're not paying attention to that.
Well, but even based on that, like if Kieran had it so low or even out of the list, then he's definitely going to say it's 4 out of what we got left.
This is true.
Is there any contest to that? Do we think any of the other
No,
three? No?
No,
No.
not at all.
definitely think it's 4.
Do we have anything further to say? I mean, we said quite a bit about it back on the awards.
Yeah, trust me.
I'm
Let's
lost
just,
for
let's
words
just
right
direct
now.
people to our old episodes, like get that back catalog list. Go
Yeah.
listen to the Grey
If
Era
you-
Awards, man. It come out at the beginning
Yeah.
of this year. We're in 2022, so it came out beginning of 2022. We spoke a lot about that. If you heard it, you know what we think about In the Fire. It's a fucking banger. So, yeah.
Had a cool performance of it as well at the Brits.
Oh yeah, go watch that
That's
as
quite a
well.
nice little addition.
The fire
Big
guitar
moment.
thing by Dave was very unnecessary, but also very, very cool.
Yeah, it was the best moment.
It's a very. It took me back to when, funny enough, Kanye did the Brits, and they had all them flamethrowers and just jumping around. That was cool as hell. Right, now we're into top 3 territory. I'm just saying this. For me, I don't know what's left on the list. I feel like it's probably Renegade. Renegade isn't number 1 for me out of this list.
It wasn't my number 1 either.
No, I think the
Renegade's
other two
probably going
just,
number 3.
the other two have like everything a verse could ever need.
Mm.
It sounds like it's going to go number 3 for me. From what's left, it is number 1, Renegade. But that's I'm on my
I
own.
think
on that one.
it's a good feature, but like it is kind of like it's one of those rhythms where it's basically his song as well. Like he did technically produce it. He's on half he sings the chorus.
There's
even
an
I don't
original
even,
version of
Yeah.
just him, like with some other person. I don't remember who,
It's
but
meant to be with Royce for
Yeah.
Bad Meets Evil. Or something.
yeah. So
Royce would not have been good at that in that time. That would not have hit right.
But Renegade is an amazing song. I want to get that out there. Like it's an amazing song, but for me, Nicki Minaj on Monster is a madness because what we were talking about, what Lil Wayne did on Hot Wind Blows, is exactly what Nicki Minaj does on Monster. She's all over the fucking place and going crazy.
The thing is as well, by the way, I think the other two verses with Renegade, it's like he's doing technical stuff that pushes him so high as well. You know, like how he maintains that ooh kind of rhyme in the first verse constantly throughout. These other two verses, they don't really toy around with that, but it's impressive how Eminem's verse still makes sense and is still impactful and like lyrically like potent. Unlike his new music, where it's like it's doing that, but it's not as potent. But I don't know. I feel like these two, Nicki Minaj and Andre, they just didn't mess about, did they? They weren't like trying to like give us fun wordplay and all this kind of. They were just wanting to like do a verse of their life, essentially.
Well, Nicki kind of does though. Nicki's on
A little.
Nicki's somewhat thematically on point with it. There's little bits and bobs here and there, but what made it so good is that it wasn't like I actually found this random video recently of someone. I'd never heard anyone do this before, but they basically trashed Jay-Z's verse on that song.
Yeah, I saw that too.
No,
They said this is
I
Jay-Z's
heard that
worst
as well.
verse
I
ever.
don't-
Is Monster. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
what?
yeah.
I
It's
don't
just-
You know, some people just
Terrible.
like to hate on Jay-Z, though. I don't know what it is.
I
He's too
thought
smart
doing
for
a
them.
video on it was a bit strong. Like I didn't think it was necessary, but at the same time, I get aspects of it. Like it does feel like Jay-Z was just kind of throwing out the Monster references and all that. And then there's that weird line about raping, pillaging children, and he talks about love
It's a
being his
bar,
Achilles
though.
heel.
It's a bar.
It's not though. It's a bit weird. Like, you know
It's
what I
what
mean? You're
the
saying-
thing is, that it's what a monster would say. Like the song's called Monster. If you don't want to hear what monsters do,
I
don't
never
listen.
thought about that. I'll be saying them lyrics sometimes. I'm thinking, why is that what he's actually into though? I don't
Because
understand
he's
why
not
they're
into it. That's well, he's just taking
No,
a
but I'm
persona
talking
on,
more
isn't
like-
it?
Achilles heel. That's
I'm
the thing
talking
that
more like
gets
if you're a
him.
monster
Yeah.
and you do that, then how is love your Achilles heel? It just doesn't make sense. It's like it's just not that good. But anyway, it's not about Jay-Z.
But
It's not about
he
Jay-Z.
had a sick bit in that way. He says, all I see is these niggas I made millionaires, a million about throwing their feelings in the air. So
yeah.
that video, I haven't watched
yeah.
it yet, but I thought that person's just on the ting because I don't know what they're talking about.
No. Yeah, it's too far. It wasn't really necessary. but-
The thing is, though, it's a middle verse, and it's weird to hear Jay-Z on like that middle bit.
But so I wrote a note down for Nicki on Monster, and for me, and you got to hear me out. I put for me, Nicki on Monster was like the Life's a Bitch of the 2010s, and what I mean by that is it was one of the great entries to the game, if that makes sense. Now I know it wasn't like she had mixtapes, she had a buzz. There was the feature on Drake's album, so it wasn't like as much of a like impact as say a Snoop with Dre or AZ on Illmatic, but this like to be on a posse cut with Kanye West, Jay-Z, Rick Ross. Do you get what I mean? Like, and to stand also, she took the crown on the song, right?
She made them look like
definitely-
average
she
rappers.
definitely
Let's
took
be
the
real.
crown.
Like they were making a bit of a joke kind of song, but she came and was like, "Nah, this is for me."
It's
That's
crazy.
the problem,
It's crazy.
yeah. When you talk about what you're saying with Renegade, Sean, about someone doing you on your own song, yeah, Nicki Minaj did everybody. There's three other features on that song. She spun everybody.
I'm gonna say so. Like, and it's not nice to say this, but like as a female rapper, I don't usually talk about it like this. But 2010 was a different time. There wasn't really like female rappers on a creative like standpoint like this. Like obviously we had Lauryn Hill, we had Missy Elliott, but like it was those two that were like the creative peak. Like, I don't think Little Kim was as creative as a rapper. You know, like she just does Biggie stuff and she raps good. But what Nicki done this, like she raps like Eminem with the voices, and also like Kendrick, but she was doing that Kendrick voices stuff before Kendrick was ever doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
The delivery,
it's
the
the way
delivery
she
on
does
this
it.
song.
The
She does it like
delivery
three
is just
different-
something else, though.
She does like three different accents the whole time.
It's
Like, just-
the accents, the flow switches as well. Like the beat has to keep on switching up a little bit because she keeps coming different on it.
yeah,
Cultural impact too, as well. Because like, how many celebrities have you seen rap that verse too?
that is true.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, it's true.
Lots.
The thing is as well, Nicki Minaj fans, and I'm talking about the pop ones, I'm talking about the queer ones, they all know Monster's verse as well. But they all went to find that verse. And that's a rare thing to find.
Do you know what it is as
Because
well?
Eminem fans don't really know Renegade verse like that.
That's what I was about to
Yeah,
say.
that's true.
This is
That's
what I'm about to
very
say.
true.
But
Exactly.
all- I
Whereas
know
this
all
verse
Nicki
just
fans-
stands out.
all
Nicki
of them
fans are
Barbie
listening to
fans.
this verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She as well. One thing I love in a feature is when the person doing the feature acknowledges the person's track they're on, and she says, you know, she goes, "Oh, besides they can't stand besides me." Like, and then she says, "Me and Am could do Menage Friday," which is, you know, he's dating Amber Rose at the time. I just love stuff like that where they're really involved in the track rather than just rapping whatever the fuck they feel like. So I'm not
Her
mad
accents on it.
to put Monster at number 2, sheerly for the fact that it would be a crime for me if Life of the Party was the number 1, because that for me as well, that's, even though it wasn't beat of the year for us, it's like one of the best songs of last year for me.
What are you saying, Sam? I'm confused what your point was. I got lost in it.
Monster's
What are you
very
saying?
good, like from so many different angles. It's got a lot more going on than Life of the Party, but I like Life of the Party more, so I want Life of the Party above it. So I want Monster to come in at number 2.
This is what I want to ask you all, because I love Life of the Party too, yeah, and you all know what I think about Andre 3000. And in terms of someone being thematically on point and in terms of how vivid the storytelling is, yeah, it's a masterful verse. But take away like complete and utter like preference and personal bias and all that. In what way is this the greatest verse of all time?
Nah, man. I
Oh,
got
just
money
because
on
he touches on every single. I'm sorry. This is
Speak
just.
your piece, Theo. Speak your
Just,
piece.
oh man, he makes you feel like you're in that moment. I just the way he delivers this verse is like, I am with Andre here. Like, he is talking about, he's relating to Kanye. You're in that moment, you're getting the goosebumps. He makes you feel what it's like. If anyone who's like, I don't know, like lost a parent or anything relates to that. But even if you haven't lost a parent, you relate to that. It's like Andre paints this picture that you're on that journey with him. It's like the blade of grass bit. Like how he just makes it so like amazingly fine. Like it's like he's someone's painted, like it's like looking at the Mona Lisa or looking at a work of art, because that's what this feature is. It is a piece of art where you are just you're left thinking, wow, this is unbelievable. Like I don't know if a feature has ever made me feel like how Andre 3000 made me feel on that feature.
And it's just we spoke a lot about it as well, but like there's certain lines on that kind of like change, especially from like a broken family or like a family that's like the parents had some turbulence. Like he makes you just think like with such a wisdom, like, you know, he's older than you. I felt like it's like an uncle giving me this advice that I've been waiting for, kind of thing.
That bit where he talks about the baby passing by in the stroller, you know, like for me, right? It's about ridiculous. That verse there's so many moments in that verse where everybody has experienced that moment, and it makes you look at those moments completely differently now. Of like, okay, say someone's gone, but they still exist in all these strange, bizarre ways that you don't really take in.
And I've got one more point, please.
Yeah, no, but that's kind of what I was looking for. That's kind of what I was looking for, because I appreciate what you were saying there, but it was still like from a very personal place, like, because we're talking about the greatest of all time here. So there's many factors to consider. Like, we've spoken about impacts. We've spoken of, like, for instance, like AZ on Life's a Bitch. We've spoken about like the importance in terms of the climate at the time with like a Nicki and people like Getz and Nicki as well, like murdering other people on their beat, M on Renegade. I'm just trying to understand where, other than the sort of like I say, the sort of personal side of things, the vivid storytelling, where is Life of the Party really that big of a moment universally?
I tell you the reactions. Everybody absolutely loved this verse, just because, you know, when you're able to just like get the topic of what the song is meant to be, and you've not only touched on it in baseball, you've hit an absolutely like home run. Like everyone's on the bases, and you've hit a home run. You could not have hit the topic of that any more than you would have. It literally is just, it's just absolutely. He's just, like I'm going to say it again, he has knocked the ball out of the park. Like, you cannot get any better than what he wrote on that verse. So it's
everyone I play this song to as well, because I know it's like it gets missed because it was on the Donda Deluxe, but everyone I play it to, they stop what they're doing. They stop at their, you know, because it's like Outkast all over again, isn't it? Like the way he's rapping, it doesn't sound like that feature Andre, that post Outkast Andre. This just sounds like he never left. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've forgotten all these hiatuses and times he's been away when I heard this voice. It's
very poetic as well. That's the part that I think that I want to stress why I think it's like number
that
one.
That motif of Miss Donda.
Yeah. It's that kind of rap that you can play to anybody and they'll appreciate the beauty of what our whole podcast is about, which is like rap and hip hop. The rest of this list is very much like you have to be into rap to appreciate this, because some of the lyrics are very vulgar, and the rest of the song's very hard to listen to or whatever else, because it's whatever. Like, I think even in the Biggie Small song, it says something about faggots, and I was a bit like, oh, do you know what I mean? I was a bit like, oh no. So, but I feel like Life of the Party is one of those. It's like, even though it's really new and it's obviously the newest track on this whole list, it's the progression of the art form to its highest level from one of the best rappers alive.
I had one more point as well. Like, a lot of features are about like taking the limelight and shining, right? Like saying like, okay, this is their track, but I'm going to steal the moment. And he does steal the moment, but he does it in the most selfless way I've ever experienced. Like, everything's about Kanye's mum. It's this whole empathy about like what Kanye's gone through and how I'm going to apply this to my own journey, but always bring it back to his story. And it's like, what he's doing is actually like, we need to understand it on an emotive level, like how difficult it is what he's doing. Like, because he could just have rapped about his own personal experience, never mentioned Donda, but he's like always addressing this person that he's like made the song like their mum. It's touching, isn't it? Every time he says Miss Donda, I just get like a little goosebump.
And it's the fact that he put himself in such a vulnerable place to share. He didn't need to share to the whole world that vulnerability. To be able to share that vulnerability, and everybody knows how Kanye feels about his mum, and everybody knows how vulnerable Kanye is in relation to his mum. And yet Andre put himself in that and related it to Kanye's mum. To be able to do something like that is just Well, it's just
That's why
flawless. to me.
Kanye pissed me off with that flipping Drake diss that he did on that song. You know, when that leak came out.
I
You have to
know,
fix
I know,
up.
it's true.
And Andre, you could tell Andre 3000 was a bit hurt by that because he.
Yeah,
listen,
without a doubt.
just to kind of because I know that maybe I was like I could see a couple faces when I was asking the questions. I was playing devil's advocate. I wanted everyone to like really give it. It's our number one, so I wanted us to really give it.
Push the energy.
It's
in
just
there.
due. But where was I going with this? Yeah, you could tell that Andre put his absolute all into that verse, and for what happened regarding the leak and the whole Drake situation at the time, I think he was hurt by that, man. I mean, he put a flipping statement out, didn't he? He's like, if I knew that this was going
That's
to be,
rare,
if it was going to be like this, I wouldn't have done this. And it was like, because I get the impression that Andre 3000, as Sam said, he's a poet, he's a true artist, and he really, really puts his heart and soul into these things. So I'm glad that it's come out in the way it has now. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm glad we've got this version, because if we only had that leak and it was that Kanye verse, it would have always been tainted, I think. But no, look, I still stand by. I don't shy away from the fact of how much I love Andre 3000, and I'm still not ready to call it his greatest verse ever. But it's
I said it in our
definitely right up
recording.
there.
I don't know when it was
I
that
think it
recording,
is.
but I said it like a month after it was released that it was his best verse ever.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
just.
it might
I
be.
think because I'm still so personally attached to certain Outkast
Yeah,
songs and
yeah.
albums, even, and
But all this, like 16 is such an amazing feature as well. That is actually
Yeah, and then
quite hard
there's
to put it
other-
above
yeah.
that. But
yeah, there's a
It's-
good 2, 3, maybe 4 other features that are just mind
I just feel like the kind of the monologues that we all just did or whatever was like
Oh, where's that button?
we couldn't.
I'm doing my monologue.
I just feel like even though it's like there's some personal bias in it, like we wouldn't have been able to be as passionate about
Other verses in the way we are with this one.
Mm.
This one just hits so differently.
Yeah.
On more than just like an intellectual level. It hits on like an emotion, it hits on a spiritual level, it hits on like a fan level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's mad though? One thing that we didn't mention that I really wish we did mention it, yeah, is Kendrick Lamar's most recent features on Baby Keem's stuff. Whew.
Oh man, I was thinking I should have said that one instead. I was thinking that.
Those are crazy.
Thing is, I don't want to sound like too much of a fanboy with it, though. But I feel like Kendrick's tapping into a new sound with, I don't know what he's gearing up for, but there's just something different about the
Oklahoma.
I think I said it before, there's a frequency to the like the way he's rapping that's just different.
That let's get
I
the
don't
shit.
know
Let's
what
get
it
the
is.
shit. That I
Yeah.
don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
It's
it's
so
it's
odd.
very, very. It's like that phrase earworm. Like it gets in your ear. The second I heard that, I was like, "This is it. Whatever the fuck this is, I need more of this."
Yeah, and I can't explain it, so I just, like I said, I sound like a flipping fanboy that just loves everything he does. But
Mhm.
I just can't wait for this album. I just need to, like I said, I get hyped when I see him with the flipping Eazy-E glasses on. I just need new Kendrick music, man. The flipping LA accent as well on what's it called, Family Ties. Oh,
That's the thing. But
Yeah.
let's finish up this episode because otherwise we'll just end up having a Kendrick Lamar appreciation time. Basically, I feel like Kendrick Lamar has amazing features and amazing songs. It's a shame that his feature got pushed so far down the list, but it's just how it works. And to be honest, like I don't feel like this list is really representative of any of us personally. It's a collaborative effort, you know. So it's a list from the grey area to the listeners. It's not really one of those ones where we're saying, "Oh yeah, most definitely, Life of the Party is the best feature ever." It might change, but for now, we all agree that Life of the Party is the best. For sure, it was Life's a Bitch, but you know, Life's a Bitch for sure.
life's a bitch. See what I mean? It's relevant today in this very moment.
That is one of the most iconic hooks in hip hop, though. I'll give AZ that because he does do the hook on that, doesn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And again, if people feel a type of way about our top 10, come to the Discord, come to YouTube.
And that's what it is. There's honorable mentions, but this
we
episode's
got
too
loads.
long to go through them. I don't know. Shall we just do some?
We might have to do a part
yeah,
two.
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. We might have to just do a part two where we just start naming features and break it down why we like them. Because boy,
Well, I've got a bit of a list here.
Go on.
If you want me to,
yeah, do it.
and then we can just sort of chip in.
Go on.
So one that is like a hip hop head classic, and you know Sam's not going to like this, is Nas's verse on Live at the Barbecue. It's like a hip hop.
I wouldn't put that in.
Classic.
I wouldn't even consider that.
No, but for its time.
Sorry, the debate's over. The debate's over. Sorry.
No, it's not. Buster on Scenario again. Another.
Oh yeah, Scenario. Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
one. I'll
that's a
give you that.
nice one.
As we've sort of briefly mentioned, Andre 3000. You've got things like International Players Anthem 16. Solo reprise. Snoop on Nothing But a G Thing.
Defo.
You know, we've said about Biggie as well. A lot of people say Flavor in Your Ear remix. Tupac on Scarface's Smile. Who remembers that?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
It's got
that's
2
okay.
verses as well, I think, right?
Bit of a more underground one. R.A. the Rugged Man, Uncommon Valor. That's incredible, actually. That verse. That could have easily got.
I could have. I was really considering that.
Mind blowing that one. Something that almost made the list. Capadonna on Winter Wars. Although we all sort of slyly thought You God.
It's like we've said this on the posse cuts. Like you got to kill that.
You God did have the best verse.
It's different.
First pick, he does have the best verse because his verse is ridiculous.
Most people say Winter Wars, isn't it? But I feel like I don't know, man. In modern times, it's sounding like You God now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to hear us talk about that one more, go to our first Posse Cuts episode.
Plug it.
Inspector Deck on Above the Clouds. by
Yes.
Gangsta.
Oh, that's
Come on, that's
See,
Sam. I'm surprised you
that
didn't
can't.
pick that.
Do you know why that can't go on this list? Because that's one of my favorite songs ever. Yeah, that song
know.
is a back.
You would have got emotional.
I would have been like, don't care about the list, man. It's going at 0. It's the beginning of the list.
Another name who was a bit of a feature king was Cannabis. He was on the 4-3-2-1.
Oh, what LA Cool J?
Yeah, and then there was a song by Lost Boys called Beast from the East. I don't know if anyone's heard his verse on that. Crazy. LL Cool J on Rampage, another sort of old one. These two, right? I don't know where you might be aware of this one. I came across this in sort of prep for this. There's a Lord Finesse song called Yes You May,
No.
and there's a remix. Now Big L's got a verse on the remix which is mad, but on the original, there's a rapper called Percy P. That first verse is nuts for the time as well. If you think about the year it was released and the way the guy's rapping, in my opinion, ahead of its time. But that's something I would recommend everyone checks out. And then just to kind of wrap things up, there's some modern ones as well. We spoke about Kendrick's Control verse, J-Rock on Money Trees. Big
Oh,
Yeah, that was- I
whoa!
had that.
We
I had
fucked
that.
up with this list. No, we fucked up
No,
with this
stop,
list.
stop. I had that.
As much as I like J Rock's verse, it wasn't. It's not on this
Magic
list,
rocks
sorry.
up in the pockets, going, hey!
man.
And that's one of my favorite features. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
That's one of my personal favorites of all time.
Big
actually.
soda,
If
YOLO
it's a
whip it.
favourite-
Oi,
If it's
nah,
a favorite,
relax.
J Rock's on my top 10. But yeah,
There's Chance on Ultralight Beam. A
How
lot of
about even
people rate
Jay-Z
Cole on a lot.
on? Yeah. How about
Sorry?
Jay-Z on Diamonds?
Jay-Z on Diamonds.
That's not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
official version in my eyes, though. It's the remix. I don't even like that version. The version's a bit mid.
Another one of my favorites is Vince on Hive.
Yeah, I love
Vince
Hive.
Staples on Earl's Hive.
Do you know
What
I've
about
got-
Conway on the Cow as well?
I was about to say
considering
that.
one.
Conway on the Cow. Yes.
No, I was about to say, Conway definitely has to be up in there somewhere.
That's mad.
Um,
Also, Bird's Eye View, Black Thought on that is disgusting. No one's saying anything. It's that X Selector track.
Which
Well,
track is
It's that
that?
X Selector, Bird's Eye View, featuring Black Thought.
Oh,
No one's
okay.
thinking that. It's the elephant in the room.
See, I think of Super Lyrical, the pun track. When I think
Oh,
of
yeah,
Okay.
fun track is hard. Yeah.
No one's feeling that Bird's Eye View. I'm baffled.
No, Kieran, I've got to be honest, I'm a bit blank. I need to go back to it. I would have to
What
go back
about? I consider J Cole and Johnny Peace Caddy. That verse
rubbish.
really
That's-
hit me
that's
differently.
That's blasphemy.
Now, I know you don't like it, Sam, but
It's
that
not
verse
that
hit me
good. It's not that
different.
good by my. But we haven't mentioned one classic that I feel like we were almost gonna mention, which was 50 Cent on the games Hate or
Hate
Love
or
It.
love
Oh,
it.
hey, I love it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
that's a
man.
good feature. That's a
That
good
verse
feature.
is just
it's not a great
okay. It's
one.
okay.
It's not a goat
No,
one,
it's
but
just-
it's in the top 50. It'd be in my top 50.
Oh yeah. Oh, easily,
You've got to
easily.
think,
It's when
though,
it's
again,
just
you
when
gotta-
it was talking about top 10. That's what I was
Yeah,
feeling.
no, I get you. But at the same time, you got to think though, like 50's persona and like the way rap was at that time. For him to say what he said in those first few lines was pretty.
Vulnerable.
That's like Tupac, DMX levels of vulnerability, right?
We need
Poetic
to have this
stuff.
discussion again about the greatest rappers of all time, maybe, because feel like maybe we need to do long lists because 50 Cent is definitely maybe in my top 25.
I'm surprised Ghostface
Whoa.
Killer hasn't been mentioned as well. I picked The Mask for him on that MF Doom track. You know, Sam, you know it. Danger
Oh, yeah.
Doom, The Mask.
Yeah,
I love that verse. Like, that verse is just crazy.
The thing
Is-
is,
Some people say he even had Nas on Verbal Intercourse as well. Some
He's
people
got a
say
nice
that.
verse. Yeah.
The last two I wanted to say, sorry, was just going back to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is Rick Ross and Devil in a New Dress.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and Pusha T
Oh,
on
Jesus.
Runaway.
What a thing.
Yeah,
Massive
yeah, yeah.
for
verse.
me, that's Rick Ross's song, though. You know, like Devil in a New Dress is Rick Ross's, but it does speak
think
to
it's Mike
Kanye's
Dean's song.
ability. That fact that he's got 3 songs in our top 10.
Mm.
That's got to be said for something. I don't know what it means, but it means something.
Kanye's just able to bring out some of the people's best verses ever in it. Like, he did it on Donda. quite
I
a lot
almost
as well.
said Off the Grid. You know, I almost said Off the
For
Grid.
real.
5
For real.
year
It's a moment.
Whew, a wild guy, but I didn't want to bring too much Donda into the equation.
That
I
must be
also
my
wrote
favourite
down
song,
Skew on the Barbie. I thought Raekwon, just like
Ooh, yeah,
the way
yeah, yeah.
Raekwon flows on that is so different.
Yeah, that is different. Yeah, that is one of those ones where, yeah, you're right.
I also put this is a weird one. So Jay-Z Seen It All, that Jeezy track. I thought he cut a chord on that one. For a Jay-Z fan, like I feel like that's one of his best features. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
you're not feeling it. Sam, speak up, man.
I'm texting,
Hear me
sorry.
out.
I'm
Hear me
texting.
out. These guys, man.
What did
Get out
you say?
here.
What did you say?
Jay-Z Seen It All. What are you saying about that verse?
I don't really care about that verse. That verse ain't all that.
Get out of here.
Sorry.
I'm leaving this call, man.
And on that bombshell,
Yeah, no, you're going somewhere else with that one. I don't know about that. I wanted to say that girl, 7XV, whatever she's 7'5", the genius, whatever her name is,
Seven
on
the
Convoy,
Genius?
on drum work. I like that.
Oh,
flow.
on drum work, yeah.
That
Yeah,
flows.
she
That-
goes
What on
off,
this
doesn't she?
list? What,
No,
what?
I'm just saying. I just like that feature. That's just a recent one. It's like, I just
Sorry,
played my rap a
I'm
couple
obviously
days
done.
ago.
I can't have any more.
It's 7'5" with the crazy flow. I'm like, woo.
I can't have any more right now.
I still rap Mercedes though. I like that one.
what about
I wrote down Nicki Minaj Flawless as well. I actually thought that was better than Monster. Like, she's
Flawless.
incredible on that song, man. But listen,
What,
do you know
Beyonce?
the Beyonce track? Like, she goes crazy on that song, you know.
I'm thinking
The
of
flow
Drake
switches.
Flawless.
No,
Oh,
No,
that's
get that
fancy.
out.
That's fancy.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Drake.
Nicki on that song is so good. Monster Nicki in Sri Lanka.
Willy Wonka?
Hey, it's your boy Theo, and thanks for listening to the Grey Area Podcast. Now, go over and check the Discord. We got loads of different playlists for you guys to check out. And most importantly of all, we want to hear from our community. So go over and check it out. You might get a free seasoning pack. Peace.